captured the hearts of the youth with terrifying consequences and results. Demons have excessively introduced wasting doctrines of spiritual refuse that people have no idea that they're even receiving. Dr. Eric Pepper, a researcher who has conducted extensive studies on the influence of film, draws attention to his observations and that we do process what we see. He says, the horror of television is that the information goes in. It goes right into our memory pool and perhaps we react to it later, but we don't know what we're reacting to. So later on, you're doing things without knowing why you're doing them or where they came from. History that Hollywood peddles adult material to children. Now let's see how this spoon-fed material has affected them.
You've heard one insider describe how the Hollywood machine marketed his R-rated movie to an audience too young to go see it.
What movies did you see?
American Pie. I saw American Pie.
American Pie 2. American Pie.
American Pie.
I'm 15.
14. 15.
13.
12. 12. 13.
Who wants me to touch Amber?
Oh yeah!
I love lesbians. They're great.
2 girls are lesbians.
The lesbian scene.
That's hilarious.
How aware are children of the corrosive influences? And they seem to pick up everything like sponges.
Yeah, it's like Play-Doh. Put a piece of Play-Doh on a table and it picks up everything. Kids are Play-Doh. They don't even know what they've picked up.
He's the young wizard in training who's conjured up an international phenomenon.
For now, Harry Potter has the world under his spell. And from the looks of things, that's not going to change anytime soon.
He's brave and adventurous, and he doesn't care what people tell him to do. Harry's friendly. Harry's not scared of anything. Harry Potter is braver than anyone I've ever met. Harry's amazing.
Frighteningly, Satan's doctrines are taking root because people are not guarding themselves or their children against the schemes of the devil.
Wicked.
LaVey tells us how late in the game it is with our kids. He says, there's no need for pacts with the devil anymore. These kids are already aligned with satanic forces.
All kinds of people are witches. There are lawyers, doctors, nurses, school teachers, every walk of life.
Raven Munani, owner of the store Raven's Flight and herself a practicing witch, credits the 1996 movie The Craft for inspiring young women to explore the world of witches.
I get a lot of teenage girls in here. You can always tell when The Craft has been on TV because we get a big influx of girls looking for supplies.
What about things like witchcraft? Do you think that's an evil thing that people should stay clear of?
No, I don't. Not at all.
Well, the bottom line is movies never close. 365 days a year, they're open and running. They never take a holiday. This is a great game plan for brainwashing people. I mean, we look back at 1940s Nazi Germany and we think, how could they be so gullible, or how could they be so naive, to fall into this whole propaganda thing? It's happening today on a large-scale basis because all the Nazis had was big screens that people had to go to. We have this pumped right into our own homes 24/7, and people are being brainwashed all over the place. And it's a great game plan for brainwashing people. One of the reasons that God came down on Israel in the past was because they failed to see the difference between the clean and the unclean, or the holy and the profane. And our nation is falling prey to the same thing. We're not drawing lines anymore. There's no moral absolutes. That's why kids are growing up with these confused ideas about what's right and what's wrong. And the amazing thing is that the Bible tells us these things very clearly. And it shows us how we should live our lives. Because God created us, He knows how we should live. He's not confused about it. We are. That's why we're bummed out. That's why we as people get depressed and anxious and all these different things. Is because oftentimes we're not following the way we're supposed to live. It's like putting dirt in our car engines instead of oil. We were created to have God work through us, but oftentimes we just won't let Him. Homosexuality has definitely affected our culture, and many kids have grown up today not knowing whether it's right or wrong. It's a gray area. They're not sure. It's almost become trendy with the children now. It's really changing a lot. Pedophilia will be the next thing that's introduced, as every great culture that has come before us, the Greeks, the Romans, they've fallen into pedophilia where it's actually normal. Not surprisingly, Harry Hay, who's the founder of the modern gay movement, was a follower of Aleister Crowley. He was also an actor who wanted to utilize the power of Hollywood celebrities in order to unlearn and destroy 2,000 years of Christianity and introduce Crowley's satanic philosophies regarding homosexuality and pedophilia to the unsuspecting public. Mr. Hay's plan has been working brilliantly.
By joining and uniting all of us, we have really gained power. This has been the struggle, and we're winning.
Television, more than any other medium, is leading the gay revolution.
I'm gay.
Erica Kane's daughter is gay. I'm gay. Means I'm a lesbian.
You don't know how to kiss, do you? So you want me to prove it, lesbo?
Well, the real world, I think, has been, in a way, solely responsible for a generation growing up with more tolerant views around gay characters and gay people in general.
It's kind of like making me open my mind to their world.
God's word warns.
Do not practice homosexuality. It is a detestable sin.
God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of homosexuality. His judgment serves as a sobering reminder that in his eyes, homosexuality is a perversion of sex that brings terrible consequences. The book of Romans describes the heart condition of those who choose the homosexual lifestyle.
So God let them go ahead and do whatever shameful things their hearts desired. As a result, they did vile and degrading things with each other's bodies. Instead of believing what they knew was the truth about God, they deliberately chose to believe lies. That is why God abandoned them to their shameful desires. Even the women turned against the natural way to have sex and instead indulged in sex with each other. And the men, instead of having normal relationships with women, burned with lust for each other. Men did shameful things with other men and, as a result, suffered within themselves the penalty they so richly deserved. And worse yet, they encouraged others to do them too.
Hollywood has long endorsed the practice of homosexuality.
You know, I think all the gay boys are going to take the business over.
Mae West's jeering of purity and exaltations of free sex and homosexuality were in accordance with Satan's plan to bring initiates into the New Age by presenting a new sexual venue that would launch society into blatant sexual revolution and rebellion to God's laws.
I gotta be getting back to the mission. Sally's father is waiting for me.
That ought to be interesting.
The homosexual community has trumpeted Dietrich as an icon because she helped to desensitize people to homosexuality way before its time. Crowley, himself a homosexual and pedophile, outlined that the New Age movement was designed to draw people into these lifestyles to harden their hearts against God. His goal was to deceive the people and sell them Satan's lie. That sin didn't bring the suffering and pain the Bible describes, but that it brought freedom and liberation.
So the thing worked for everybody of every sex. She was doing it to turn on both the woman and the man. It was so free. It was so free.
Nudity for Marilyn Monroe always represented a certain form of freedom. One should credit her with a whole change in attitude in the pop culture related to nudity.
Sexual freedom is something we feel is very important as a necessary requisite of the Satanic Church.
It's hard to understand if you hadn't lived before that time what a major impact that freedom of a point of view did to people's brains. You say, wait a minute, then there are no rules here.
We project the voice of freedom forward beyond ourselves to the youth of today and to the generations of tomorrow.
And make no mistake about it, we will not stop until we have achieved our freedom. Do not stand in our way.
The church, the state, hormones will decide my fate. The church, the state, hormones will decide my fate.
The day is coming. We're going to like them. We're going to do them. We're going to take our freedom by any means necessary.
I will do whatever I have to do to stay free. If it's a choice between me staying alive and free and somebody else not staying alive, I'm willing to make that choice too.
We're young, we're grand, we're going to rule the world.
I think it should be brought out that we not only condone but we encourage all types of what would be called sexual perversities and deviations, because we feel that in a few short years it will be established that everyone is a sexual deviant, pervert, fetishist.
We're happy to be here. We feel that historically we are part of this movement for liberation.
All my life been attracted to younger boys. I love them.
How do I make myself attractive to boys?